Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the DinoDudeRocket YouTube channel. I am DinoDudeRocket. I'd like to thank you for the massive support I've seen on my part 1 of this series. Time for part 2. I've got a lot to do that I told you about in the last time. The first thing we need to do is install a faceplate because I need to get some 12-volt sockets in this car. There aren't any, if you can believe it. There's no USBs, no 12-volt, no electricity that I can access whatsoever. There is like a really old stereo in there that I could maybe pull out and replace with a new one, but I like having the old cassette player. I don't want to ruin it. I feel like that would be kind of sacrilegious. So what we need to do is build a faceplate for these 12-volt sockets to plug in. The first thing I need to do is build it out of cardboard, and then we can build the proper thing out of wood at a later date. Apologies for the darkness, but we've made our little box perfect. So this is just our focus camera. This is my mock-up. It's essentially perfect. It fits in absolutely perfectly. So that's cut to shape. So I can now make a piece of wood the exact same as this, and I will be able to attach what I need to attach to it. Additionally, you may have noticed there's a bucket down here. The reason for that is, as you can see, this area here, I've had to completely cover it in duct tape, and the reason for that is it was leaking. There's a hole in this piece of fiberglass. Feeling it now, the duct tape seems to be holding it well, but the whole footwell down here, and especially down here, had been just completely flooded. One thing I kind of forgotten about this car is just how popular it makes you. Like, I cannot go anywhere or do anything without someone coming up to me and telling me all about how they had one when they were younger, or their friend had one, or they got driven around in one. I mean, even when I was trying to diagnose the leak on this car, there was some old guy telling me about how he used to be driven around in one when he was younger. Where it is, it's a bit cramped is the only issue. Just need to see if there's somewhere else for that water to drain. But this time I put my finger on this one.
I went on one of these donkeys years ago.
Oh yeah?
It's some young man on it. You could see the road as you were going along. It was like a bit rusty.
Now if I can see my finger, I know it's As you can see in that video, when I was diagnosing the leak, there was a guy who was coming up to me just to tell me about how he'd been driven around in one as a kid. It's excellent, and it sounds annoying, but it's not. It's like the coolest thing ever, because if I didn't enjoy talking about it, I wouldn't have one. So I've used my towel to try and rectify it. Drying up quite nicely, but it's still, if you can see that, still a little bit wet. You might be able to see on my hands, probably not, but yeah. So nice warm towel down there. Let's get this dry. With that leak temporarily plugged for now, it was time to go to the workshop so that we could begin construction on the wooden version of our electric faceplate.
I'll go with these.
I'm actually very proud of that. Once that was built, screwed and glued, it was time to sand it all down and paint it. So we've now painted and sanded it, and this little piece that can go in the glove box where all of our electrics are going to go on here is all ready to go. It's shaped, sanded to size, painted. It's lovely. It's like a varnish on it. It's really nice. Proud of this. So we'll get this installed at some point in the future. Before we can do any of that though, Connor's here. He's shown up to help fix that leak in the footwell.
I'm just trying to film the hole. I didn't even get a film of it before.
Trying to film the hole?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I forgot to film it earlier, and I'm trying to make like a video on this.
I'm also going to need some scissors.
I got them.
So Connor's been in here now, and he's done a triple fiberglass mesh covering. I've just noticed there's a spider. There's a big spider in there. He needs to be dealt with. Let me deal with him, and then I'll come back to you. Anyway, with that taken care of, you can get a nice look at the amazing job Connor did on the fiberglass. That is so strong and so sturdy. It isn't going anywhere. So next time it does rain, bring it on, because this car is nice and safe. Yeah, my microphone stopped working here in a strange case of deja vu. Let me instead spend the time telling you about my first Reliant Robin from season 1. That car made me so unbelievably happy, but it did let me down a few times. Those times were almost entirely my fault. I was a lot younger, a lot more impulsive, a lot less patient, and I didn't really understand classic car ownership. So when I made mistakes, I just kind of like thought, the car's not for me, and got rid of it. I quit. Doing that was one of the biggest regrets I've had in my automotive journey. I think I've had like 12 cars at this point, and that's the one I miss the most because it's a symbiotic relationship having a classic car. It's not like a modern car where you can just do anything with it and it'll always work. I mean, you have to put in a lot of effort. Old me didn't know that, but the new me does know that. This vehicle means the world to me. It's become part of me. And like Jeremy Clarkson said, Reliant Robins aren't just cars. They almost feel like family pets. And I can say that he's right. I mean, this one has become part of my family. It's become part of my soul, and I'm going to look after it with everything I have. One day, me and I'm sure a load of other young people are going to leave the UK. That's my long-term plan. And when I do, this little tricycle will be coming with me. But that's a long way away. What I need to do right now is show you, as promised, the sound system. So, I told you I would show you my sound system. Let's have a look, shall we? So you step on in, and what you have is this amp right here. This is a Knobsound NS10G Pro. I think it's 200 watts total, 100 watts a speaker. This is powered by 12 volt, and the speaker cables all run down the side of this seat here to down here where we have a Jackery Explorer 240, because I don't have any electric set up in the car yet. So in the meantime, I'm using my Jackery power station. Currently have 30%. I have been using this to power my speakers for about 2 months, and it uses next to no power. It's ridiculous. It uses almost nothing. The only reason it's gone down so much is because I was using a fridge in here as well. So yeah, this thing is excellent. Definitely recommend. So you flick this switch and that turns the speakers on. If we follow this cable up, you'll come here and you'll see this. Oh, it broke. It broke. I've just noticed that my little speaker setup was broken. This was supposed to be glued to this and bolted in place, but yes, it's not. So that will need to be fixed. Regardless, over here, it's not broken. So this is what it should look like on this side. This is screwed into a hole on the frame that also holds together the upholstery. And this one over here, they link up to provide support. If we come around the back of the car, you can see what they support, which is this. My speaker setup. So what we have is this wooden frame that links through on both sides. This is like a kind of S shape, I guess, and that bit broke there. I need to screw that back in probably, but there's legs on it all the way around. These are all screwed together and glued, and this frame holds the speakers. We have a nice little shelf on top that you can put stuff on. So this is a jump start and tire inflation kit. Haven't needed it yet, thank you, but it's good that it's there. My spare wing mirror, spare hubcaps, loads of spare parts in here, always on me at all times. Coolant, umbrella, because it is England. Now, what are we rocking with? So the sound system we're rocking with here are Mission 780 speakers. These are really quite old. I think they came out in like the 90s or maybe the 80s or something. Someone who knows more about sound will probably be able to correct me on this, but Mission 780s, these things are just incredible. Far better than anything you can really buy today for the money. You can find a pair of Mission 780s on Marketplace or eBay for, 50 quid. These were 30 quid for the pair. They were a little bit scratched up, which is why they were cheaper, but the sound quality is excellent. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is my sound system. Now let me see if I can find some nice royalty-free music to play for you. So let's see what it sounds like. So as you can see, sound quality is not something I'm ever going to have to worry about. Excellent setup. This whole frame here took me about a couple weeks to build at the workshop. That's because it's like a community workshop, so it's only open a small amount of time. So I only got like a few hours a week really with it, so it took quite a while, but it's good, it's all sturdy, it's well made. The only thing that isn't well made is that corner over there, but I'm probably going to leave that. It's pretty strong now anyway. So yeah, that's the sound system. I hope you like it. It's excellent, and this is the sort of thing that you can fit very easily into literally any car. Wiring it into existing electrics would be a better idea, but until that's a possibility, then using the jackery over there is not a bad thing in my opinion. One thing I noticed, actually, it's kind of strange, is if you park with the back end of the car on a slope like downwards, some fuel leaks out of the filler cap for some reason.
Oh, I've actually heard about this. I don't know if you know, but it's actually a performance modification made.
Oh really?
So basically what happens is, obviously the lighter a car is, the faster it goes. And this
Yeah.
car needs all the help it can get. So it'll purposely leak excess fuel out of it to make you go faster.
That's a really good idea. I like
Yeah.
that. See, I'd been parking it either on flat ground or with the nose down
Yeah.
to try and counteract that, but
No, you want to park with like the nose as up as possible.
yeah, I've been like getting rid of well, I must add like 15 horsepower.
At least.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am so grateful that you spent the time watching this video. I hope you enjoyed the last one. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you haven't seen season 1, it's linked below. Please watch that as well. This little channel of mine, I've been running it for 11 years, I think, maybe 12. We've got over 1,000 subscribers. I'm so unbelievably grateful. And I just want to grow this thing into like a real community. I want to just like, I don't know. I've always wanted to do YouTube, like just do it properly. And I want to be able to do it full time one day. And that's never happened for me. But maybe if this series keeps doing well, and if you guys keep being as generous as you are, that little dream might come to reality. And I want to thank you for even giving me the glimmer of hope that that might one day materialize. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. You're all the best. DinoDudeRocket out. And I'll see you next time.